Hi everyone. Today we will be discussing about one of the important part of your semantic analysis is meaning representation. Till now we might see how semantically we can understand a given sentence or any paragraph or anything. Now after all doing all the pre-processing techniques by understanding all the word senses by removing all the ambiguity in the words, we will be understanding how the meaning will be represented. So for this we have few applications where NLP is providing a very prominent understanding among all the different type of applications. So we will see about some of the applications of meaning representation. So meaning representation where it is one of the format and it is creating no ambiguity whenever we want to understand any of the task. So there are several applications where meaning has been represented. So one is your ATIS project. So we will see what is that ATIS project. So ATIS is automatic terminal information service. Okay, this will be observed whenever we search for ATIS in our Google search. Okay, so if we have ATIS, so in your ATIS, whenever we search for ATIS, so it will be giving us, it is a, there are so many such ATIS will be coming, but it is about automatic terminal information service. So wherever we will just, it's a provided with an article. So Federal Aviation of US has been providing that. So these are the things what ATIS program will work. So it is having name of the aerodrome, arrival, departure, contract type, designator. These are all the features where ATIS will be taking care. And also it will take care about the weather, and also it will take care about the cloud structure and everything. Okay, so um, so this is another where the ATIS program, how it will works and what are the things generally ATIS will help us to carry forward throughout the conversation whenever it is about the terminal information. So if you take one of the things like, for suppose if you take alpha, so this is one of the code where it will be starting with um, the conversation as well. Okay, so something like it will be taking about see operation procedures. Okay, so it will be taking care about for example, if you take latest sailing visibility, altimeter, wind will be issued by approach control power. So this is how an example sentence. So this is a sentence where your ATIS control will be giving us. So for suppose if you take an example, verify you have information Charlie, current advice when you have Charlie. So these are some of the codes where it will be converse in between um, the terminal conversations and everything. Okay, and also we can take, suppose if you take an example, wind 250 at 10, visibility 10, ceiling 4500 broken, temperature 34, dew point 2 height, altimeter 3010, ILSDME runway 27 approach in use, departing runway 22 right, hazardous weather information for available on flight service frequencies, braking action advisories are in effect. So this is one of the sentence which was provided by the terminal things to have a very detailed information. All the words which were part of this sentence will be considered, and this part of sentence will be understood by the ATIS codes. So for example, if you take another example, attention all aircraft, attention all aircraft, information alpha current, attention all aircraft, information bravo current. So attention all aircraft information Charlie current. So these are all some of the sentences which will be used for the conversations. Okay, so this is about your ATIS where it will contains about the airport names, phonetic letter code, okay, time of the latest weather sequence, UTC, and these are all the information where ATIS will be generally conversing with your terminal. This is generally about the flight information, about the runway and running things, whether everything was clear or not. So this is a very beautiful application which will be helpful for all the uh, flight pilots and the safe landings and everything. So this is one of the application where we can be using with our meaning representation. So this is about air travel information system. So this is a very best user query, and it also provides one of the best speech recognition, and also it will be providing very best flight information. And every time whenever we ask a query, it will be compiled like an SQL query, and it will be extracting the answers. Next. So for suppose if you take how ATIS program will work, so it can show the flights, it can provide us the time, it can be providing us the part of the day, so what part of the day you are in, because whenever we travel from a place to place, the time of the day will be changed, and what is the origin of this thing and into which city, everything will be represented through a frame. So this frame of day, the frame of information will might contain all the things about the flights, about the time of arrival, and the part of the day. It can be morning, evening, afternoon, or night, or whatever it is, or it can be provide some places the time will be given like in the 12-hour format or 24-hour format, like that. Okay, so this is how a simple representation of ATIS will be looking like. So it is like spoken language database. Generally, it will have some audio recordings. It will take the voiceovers whoever are part of this IT's programming, and also it has so many of the transcripts of the people whoever generally query with the travel information system, and it also have very big data set which generally concentrate on how a query will be asked by the pilot or any speech delivery person. So that will be taken care by the data sets, and this natural language understanding. So you know what is natural language understanding. So this natural language understanding will pre-process the entire text, and it will be taken the entire sentence, it will be tokenizing everything, and it will take, well, by the help of the data set, it is going to provide the appropriate dialogues. So these are the key features of ATIS. So it is your air travel information. That is one. Second one is it have the tasks like flight information. It also have the tasks like bookings, scheduling, and the very important thing is what type of data types it will take care about it, audio recordings, transcripts, and semantic labels. And its size is approximately 5,000 audio recordings and 14,000 transcripts we have. And generally, it will have a language called as English. Okay, so it might be developed area to area. So some of the countries might use this ATIS in some other way, depends on their original regional language. Okay, this is about your ATIS. Next one is your communicator. So communicator is, however, we have seen ATIS. So communicator is one of the user initiated dialogue. How user wants to talk, so it depends on how computer presents to us. So it can be any travel information or anything. So we have a beautiful application of your communicator. So this is one of the communicator application where it has been used especially for the people who are having the language disability. So whoever are suffering from the language disabilities, this communicator will communicate with uh, proper some might give you in text, some might give you in speech, so that will be understood by anything. So some might provide you only text where they cannot speak. So and some individuals might have some disabilities like cerebral palsy and different syndromes, so where it will take this convert the text into clear speech using just their eyes, fingers, or a switch. So this is how communicators will help us. Okay, this is one of the product which will be used in the way how every individual can have a very proper communication. So this is where it will also support multiple languages, and it will also support calls, text, and manage contacts and everything. So there will be one device where it will have all the features how a normal person will be using. This communicator will actually have a purpose of using language understanding of how any individual who are not good in their speech things and everything, so they can also use how to converse everything. Okay, so this is one of the beautiful application where communicators will help us. So next application is your geoquery. This is one of the very important application, how meaning will be understood, and after all the pre-processing techniques of your semantics, how geoquery query will be looking like. So if you just Google the about geoquery, so we will be having this first one where AI.data. So aidata.org. So whenever we just have this AI.org, we have geoquery. So if you just redirect the geoquery, it will be coming forward to geoquery. So where we can provide any country name. So we can select any boundary name, okay, and also we can select any data set. So let's provide any data set. So let's give a country called as India. So it is going to ask us which type of sub boundary we want to select. So it is, I think it has been selected through all the states. So it will be updated as per the databases, however we have. And if you select the next one, it will be refreshed towards the city-wide boundaries. Okay. So next thing. So it will be more clustered and more in detail data of how the boundaries were. And this is how we can select from a country where all the details will be there in the form of a data set. So let's select the first one, and let's select for this H data sets. So these are different data sets, depends on whatever region we have selected from our country. So these are the different data sets where we can go through in detail. So for suppose let's take anything. Hmm. Yeah, let's select this distance to water. So it will ask us what are all the, so this is the data set selection. So in this data set selection, we can request this data, whatever type of data set we are uh, we can utilize that. So we can just select anything and we can send a request. So where AI data team might revert back with the data set, whatever data is available with the geo AI data. So the geo query will take all the queries. So it will be created in the form of an SQL query, and it will process it and it will send us the data set. Okay. So we can also try whatever, and also we can also have diamond deposits. So there are so much of gold deposits, and yeah, so I want to swap. So it is asking whenever, because I'm going for a selection, it is going for multiple selection. That's the reason it is asking. And ozone concentration year-wise data is available from 1990 to 2013. So the data is available. So and travel time to major cities. So it might also have so many features. So this is how GeoQuery will take a query. So this is also one of the thing where it is going to ask. For suppose if you take Afghanistan. So Afghanistan are having two things. So likewise, this is one of the very big repository to understand the geo boundaries. Okay, and also it will take some of the queries like what is the capital of state with the largest population. This is how also we can pre-process. If we deep dive inside more into your geo query, we can also get the information how good we can ask a query like this. So what is the capital of state with the largest population? So it will take an answer. It will provide an answer of taking what is the state and is the capital. So this is what both the arguments of capital will be taking care, and after that it is going to take largest. So the largest type will be taken care with the population data set. So from the data set of population, the values of from the population data set will be mapped with your state, and among those two arguments, the largest value will be sent to your answer. This is how a query processing can also be done with the help of your GeoQuery. And for example, if you take what are the major cities in Kansas, so this is how the query will be taken care, and the appropriate answer will be framed, especially in your GeoQuery. So whatever semantically you understood, the system will represent its meanings. Next one is RoboCup. So you might feel it interesting. So RoboCup is one of the very good application where they want to create some robotic competitions among um, robotic competition. So this is this is a very good organization. So where they were planning, they have an aim actually. So it is actually an internationally scientific initiative. The goal to advance the state-of-art intelligent robots, and which was established in 97, and their target is to capable of winning again as the Human Soccer World Cup champions by 2050. So this is how they were actually planning towards. Um,
So RoboCup started in Japan, with a group of Yoraki Kitano, Minoru Asada in Japan, and Itsuki Noda. So 3 people.
But to have robots starting with a simple task in a complex environment.
So we're Team Tech United. We participate in the RoboCup at Home League. And this league is about robots doing a course in a household, obviously. The robot has to be able to do a lot of things in a household. So today we already tested the navigation skills, the speech recognition skills.
And what the state of the victims is like. It gets increasingly complicated every year. So when it started, it was fairly simple, and the robots obviously couldn't handle even fairly simple terrain. And each year it gets more and more complicated.
We're coming here to get experience from the old ones and communicate with the other teams and get experience from them. And we can do so many things that we have learned from the
manufacturing industrial robots. So we try to invent autonomous manufacturing robots. The challenges we have in the league are basic navigation tasks where you show that your robots can autonomous navigate from several distinct points in the arena to other distinct points, detecting walls, moving objects, and also just invisible barriers that just marked with barrier tapes. So the same, it should interact in normal workshops where humans also interact with. So if a human can see a danger tape on the ground, the robot should also see it. So it doesn't need to tell where it is. Then there are manipulation tasks, basic manipulation tasks where just perform basic manipulation of objects like grasping, turning, putting away some stuff, and the robot never knows where the object is exactly. He gets just a short task, drive to this surface, and over this table or in this shelf, there you will find the object.
And the robots that we present here.
So there are so many such presentations. One is RoboCup Soccer. They have a rescue team, so where they will be just as you have seen some representation of how they will be working, and also RoboCup at homes. So how a home application, how the robots will be working, and industrial purposes, and also RoboCup Juniors. So there are so many robots were developed, especially by taking the natural language processing. So these are very useful applications, and this is one of the very big organization. And as they have told you, this is the target of that. So they want to beat a very live human soccer team with the robots. That's what. So it has been established in 1997. So way back it has been established, and it is doing so much of research as well. So please just, and also some research papers were also available. If you are interested, just go through our RoboCup research papers. Okay, so all the research papers you can just search for. So these are all the keywords where it is discussing about localizations, real-time image processing, reinforce learning, and it is also taking care about world modeling, knowledge representation, okay, object recognition, because this is a very major keyword, especially when you want to take. So these are different. So soccer itself, they have 145 papers they were published, and also rescue simulation, they have soccer simulation and all these things. So please go through the entire RoboCup so that it will be making us easy to understand how they work. So generally, how this RoboCup is taking, first of all, if you take RoboCup soccer, so if the ball is in our penalty area, all our players except player 4 should stay in or half. So this is the thing how your Robocop command will take care. So it is going to take penalty area, because this is one of the keyword where it is going to identify as per the soccer challenge. So, and also player accepts player 4. So this is one of the thing where it might consider in as part of your soccer challenge. And all those keywords will be identified, especially so depends on the context of the theme. So the theme is your soccer challenge, so all the context related words will be clubbed, and those will be taken as per the query, so to the query to the machine, so that there will be processed, and accordingly the same command will be appeared whoever are near to that area of the soccer, so those robots will react accordingly. So this is how a language is helping a robot to go forward, and this is a special formal language called as C-lang. So this is a language where it will where it was developed as per the requirement of the robot. So it can be any soccer challenge, or it can be any other home purpose robot, or everything. So, okay, this is how the meaning will be represented. Okay. And also this will be represented, it can be a rule based system, and also it is one of the so depends on how your system is working, how we can actually form the rules. So we can form the rules for your arrays, we can also form the rules for your communicator, and also we can form the rules for your robocops, where there are some of the information where the system should process that. It can be any SQL query, it can be any prolog query, so all these things. So and also the other way how we can easily represent your meaning is your supervised. So after your rule based, if you want to have more supervision, so we can also add some of the features where that might provide you better output. So it might also provide so many new rules. We can also provide some restrictions, depends on the system, and we can also provide some of the things where your rule based cannot be approached. But there are some overheads also, even though rule based systems might not provide you a very good output, but also be overcome by your supervised.